What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Ran When Parked. I'm going to make the intro nice and short today. I think this is going to be a short video because all I really want to do is take the Ultima GTR and drive it around on the street for you guys. See what it does. We fixed the shifting problem a couple videos ago. I haven't done anything else with it, so I want to get it out on the road this afternoon. However, before we do that, there is one thing we need to fix. Let me show you what it is. So, one thing I've noticed recently is that this thing has been leaking something. You guys can kind of see the stains on the floor. There's nothing fresh. It doesn't look like maybe there's a little something under there, but mostly it's just stains on the floor. And I'm thinking it's probably fuel. And the reason why I'm thinking that is because I've used my powers of deductive reasoning and put some fuel in it. And it runs great and doesn't do anything. And then I come back a couple days later and there's a mess on the floor and there's no fuel in it. So it doesn't exactly take a rocket scientist. So what we're going to do here is jack it up in the air and see if we can find where the heck it's leaking from and fix it. So let's get moving. Alright, we're up in the air. I love these roller stands on this thing. Makes it so easy. Next thing we're going to do is throw some fuel in this tank. Both tanks on, there's one on each side are connected together, so it doesn't matter which one you put it in. And then we're going to crawl under there and see if we can find where it's leaking. Okay, so slight change of diagnosis here. I went under to look at like the fuel pump, which is mounted right here on this plate, and I don't see any fuel. However, I definitely see coolant coming off this hose right there. Maybe you can see that. And these coolant lines have silicone boots, which I've heard of being a problem before. It seems to be coming right under the clamp right there. And then if we look at these rivets, we can see, well, there's a perfect drip off of that one right there. And that is because the coolant lines run under this panel all the way to the front, which is right here in the car. So the coolant lines are in here. Now, I don't see any coolant leaks or feel any wetness in here. There's no moisture at all. But clearly, we're getting some coolant running down the bottom. And it's probably going to be that clamp, that clamp, that clamp, and the one on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten all those, and we'll see what we got. We are definitely a little low on coolant here, too, so makes sense. Maybe it's not fuel. It could be possible that these tanks just have, like, open vents, and I leave the car for so long that the fuel is evaporating, and it's a separate issue. But I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay, so every one of these clamps had at least a couple ratchets that I could get out of it. So they were pretty loose, especially the one on the bottom that I thought might be leaking. So that makes perfect sense. Let's hope that was the culprit. I did, however, since those were loose, pop open the front clamshell and tightened up this one, that one, and the two on the other side. And all four of those had a little bit of play in them too. So hopefully that solves that problem, because I do see some staining on the floor up front too, where it was probably leaking. So let's hope we're all set there. I did notice one thing when I was opening up the front clamshell, and that is that this thing has these latch releases. Maybe you guys remember a long time ago we were messing with those, and I did not realize till now that when I put the seat in a video quite a while ago, I bolted the seat over the latch release, so it's stuck under there. So although I don't have to drive it, I am going to take that seat out right now. Since the car's up in the air, I can get at the bolts really easy and just fix that. So let's fix that real quick, and then I think we're going to be out on the road. So that is no longer under the seat. We have everything cleaned up. Both the latches are in this side compartment here. So those are for the front clamshell. So I guess that's about it. All we have to do is close this thing up and latch the front and rear clamshells and put it back on the ground. Put a little more fuel in it because I didn't put much in case it was leaking. And take it for a quick rip around the block a little bit and see how she does. It should be a whole lot quieter than it was last time. If you guys remember, it was rattling like crazy, and that was before I redid all the latches on the front and rear clamshells and on the doors. So last time I drove it, nothing was actually latched. All the body panels were just sitting there. So everything's really tight now, so it should be pretty good. So let's get this thing back on the ground. Okay, we have hopefully our leaks taken care of. I put a couple gallons of gas in it. We have our seat bolted back in. Everything is latched this time so it doesn't rattle like crazy. So the only thing left to do is get in this thing and rip it around, see if it shifts right and pulls good and stops good. And we finally got all the bugs worked out of this thing. So let's get moving. Let's go. Boy, the windshield's a little dirty. Could have fixed that, I guess. Let's try not to get hit at the bottom of the driveway here first thing, yeah? Boy, it's a lot quieter already. And it shifts perfect. Some noise, but it's not as bad as it used to be. This thing is fun. of a pull here. See what she's got. All right, guys, so we just took it a couple miles. Works well. It made a couple of weird noises, but it ran great. It shifts through all the gears awesome, so that problem is solved. It rips, definitely. We got after it, and it pulls like you'd expect it to. Handles amazing, stops amazing. So let's check it over and make sure nothing crazy happened, but I'm going to call that success. So let's check her over real quick. All right, guys, that's a wrap. The Ultima's all set. It runs good, it drives good, it stops good, it handles good. Everything's good to go. The bad news is this might be the last time you see the Ultima, and that is because it's going to be leaving here and it's going to be going back into storage. Maybe we'll do something on it later. I'm not really sure at this point, but the reason why it's leaving is because I need room for something new I got. And this new thing is not a car. In fact, it doesn't even have an engine, but I'm so amped up about it. I think you guys are going to be excited. We're going to be working on that next week, so you're definitely going to see it in upcoming videos, and you will see a whole lot more other things also. Maybe we'll actually get back to the Land Cruiser and wrap it up one of these days. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on Ran One Parked.